What's up, everybody? This is SOS Rampages back at you with another episode of Breaking the Wrestling Barriers, specifically number 13, and what Farm wants to be known as the Taz edition, the bag, the orange, the whatever you want to call it edition. We are leading into the Elimination Chamber. We appreciate you all for being here. We are doing this live, so if it is a little bit different, if it is a little bit funky, if things seem a little odd to you, that is why it is a little bit off to you. So, trying stuff out, trying to go live with it. So if you want to consume the live content and get it all throughout, you can get that, at that spot, or you can get it here and, just watch this said video. And we appreciate y'all for joining in. Any comments, concerns, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, you all know the drill. With that being said, we're going to pass it over to that way. Hey, I got it right on the first time. Look at that. And let him explain himself.
I am SOS Farm, a.k.a. Farm27 on YouTube. And I am the right-hand man of that guy there. You find him, you find me.
And we are live right now on Twitch as well as on YouTube. So if you want to check us out for live content, you can check both of our Twitches out as well. We usually do gaming, but we also do this kind of content from time to time. With that being said, we're going to get into what we are talking about this week with the lead up into Elimination Chamber. We got a bunch of different kind of fun, interesting, we'll call those things to talk about. First on the docket, as you all see on the pretty ticker at the bottom, is Logan Paul just kind of slapping CM Punk and running away. And in your mind, I'll let you go first with this. Where does this lead? Is this a Mania thing? Is this a down the line thing? Is this just a testing Phil?
Testing Phil.
Okay.
Definitely a piece of that. Hopefully not WrestleMania.
No.
Not this year. But also, I think it's just like one of those big things that they can grab a hold of.
Clip-worthy moment, YouTube moments.
YouTube superstar Logan Paul slaps WWE superstar, former AEW world champion, former UFC fighter, CM Punk, in the middle of Monday Night Raw, #Netflix. What will happen next? And, they like to bring big names together. That's why I still think eventually they want to do Rock Brock again.
Yeah.
But bigger.
But bigger this time. They're both so big.
The biggest Ultimate Fighter versus the biggest movie star. But this time for real.
I get you. I'm kind of hoping that it leads into Punk eliminating Logan from the Chamber, especially with how locked in it is and all the pictures that Punk has been putting up on social media leading into. I mean, we'll get more detail about the Chamber and stuff like that in our Chamber breakdown, obviously, but it's kind of where I'm leading. It seems like, because like I said, I like you said as well, I don't think it's gonna be Mania. I don't necessarily see them lining anything up this far down the line. If it's not going to be at Mania, they have all their ducks in a row. They're looking everything is full sail ahead at Mania, so I don't see them starting anything that's not going to be followed through with right now, at least.
This is the CM Punk slow burn. This is what he's going to be doing in 2025, but this is only the beginning, and it's not actually starting yet, but pay attention to it.
Right. Next, kind of to pay attention to, I mean, we have it full on the screen that behind us is we have Tiffy and Trish teaming up in Toronto against Nia and Candice.
Yeah.
Is this leading to, do you think this leads to a Trish comeback? Do you think this is because it's in Toronto? Because she's kind of hinted and rumored at a comeback. Does this lead to Tiffy and Trish at Mania?
Trish has already come back.
Do you think she's fully coming back as far as getting back into things? Because she's been out for a little bit. I mean,
she's back though. She came back and she fought Becky.
Mm-hmm.
She comes back for the Rumbles, and she's on the games, not old Trish, current Trish.
Yeah, she's essentially one of the first female Brock types.
Yeah,
she
she's
comes
technically
in
on the roster, but she's not there all time, but technically she's in the mix.
So do you think that leads to Tiffy and Trish at Mania, or do you think we're still lining up Nia and Tiffy at Mania?
I think Trish is there to help the positive image of Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
Like they have a mother-daughter look and kind of relationship that it looks like they're trying to build on camera.
Right.
So like I feel like this might be one situation where it doesn't lead to a match. It's just like where one legend believes in someone and they endorse them and they just have a bond.
Right. No, and I get that, and I kind of want to see a match between the both of them, but like down the line though, like it's kind of like I could see them building to it, but I really don't. Neither one of them needs to turn heel right now, and we're not at that respect.
I mean, Trish does like to turn heel on people just so she can have a match. Trish is like Sean.
No, I know that's kind of her MO, but
yeah,
I
Trish will
don't
turn heel just so she can have a match with you. So I respect that.
So I mean, I get it in a way too.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's Trisha's retirement match ultimately, because they tried to say like Trish was having her last match a few years ago when she fought Charlotte, and nobody believed it because of the fact that Trish had not fought Sasha yet, and everybody knows that Trish and Sasha wanted to have a match. And I don't think Mercedes and Trish have had a match yet, right?
No, they still haven't.
So Trish isn't retired until she works with Mercedes because they both said they want to do something together.
Yeah. It should be an interesting. I mean, she's obviously going to get a huge pop. I mean, it's going to be a decently worked match, I'm sure as well. So it'll be good to see.
She's the GOAT.
The other thing WWE kind of have sprung on us at the last minute, like they usually like to do, and what has engulfed the entire pay-per-view, including the poster, is The Rock coming back and proposing his, giving his proposition to Mr. Cody Rhodes. And we also have Travis Scott making another appearance because reasons. Sad face. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Someone about to get dropped off some shoulders.
One can only hope, but I don't see it happening. I mean, good for Travis Scott. He has the theme song for Raw, right?
Yeah.
Does he have the theme song for Elimination Chamber?
No, that's Poppy.
Okay.
Because Triple H has got it back, so now we get all the NXT stuff.
Yo, where's EO? Poppy's there. Where's EO?
Taking the night off.
That is the dangerous.
In catering.
All right. You know what? Then I want to see Asuka come back. I want to see Poppy perform. And I want to see Asuka come back.
How do you feel about The Rock and Travis Scott?
Individually?
About the situation.
Oh, with the poster.
Yeah, the poster, and then just them being at Elimination Chamber in general. Like, what do you think Travis Scott's gonna do? One, and then what? Like, do you think we get that much from The Rock, or do you think it's just set up still?
It's set up from The Rock. It's more storyline. It's what's gonna lead into WrestleMania. It's probably gonna leave us with more questions than answers. No, I don't know why Travis Scott is on the poster. I don't know what he's going to do besides show up and make an appearance. I don't know. Maybe Homeboy's been training with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and he learned how to do a clothesline, and he's going to do something on the show that matters. I don't know. Other than that, he's probably just going to show up with a crack pipe and stand in the center of the ring, and then like the first 5 rows of people are gonna die. You can edit that out. We're live on. That was for Twitch. I don't know. Yeah, look. If The Rock is presented as the devil, then you should bring like some artist that's down with that. They're gonna come out together, aren't they?
Yes, probably.
And Cody's good. Wait, no, Cody did the video with Slam or whatever, Metro Boomin in the car.
Yes.
Cody needs to call it Metro Boomin so like has backup, because if The Rock has Travis Scott, you can't just come out there alone, Cody.
Hey, how are you doing? Having a good day so far. I hope you're having a good day as well.
So I don't know. That's how I feel about Travis Scott.
Let's jump over to the other side. Let's go to AEW, because I know that'll make you feel so much better. Well, how about the Mariah May jumping Tony Storm, and they're not done. They're gonna have the Hollywood ending match. So I'm hoping it's gonna be some sort of cinematic match. And that pile driver on the stage was nasty. I dropped right on his head, or on her head. Sorry.
I agree. I'm all for whatever they're gonna do to finish the story, but what are they gonna do afterwards?
Right.
As much as they need to separate, I kind of still want to see them together.
Yeah. And who goes over here? Like, who is
Mariah May?
Yeah. Where do you go with Tony?
In mine.
I mean, do we have Tony go after Mercedes next? Like, where does Tony go? Is Tony big enough now that she doesn't need a belt because of the gimmick?
She runs into the lunatic with the puppet. And then they interact with each other for a while.
Okay.
Because tell me you wouldn't watch that every week. Ooh, do you think she can do 2 of them at the same time? Like that episode of South Park with Mr. Garrison?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm besmirched on where this conversation is gone. This is as rough as the Death Riders being the main storyline of the show.
Okay, you don't want to talk about Harley Cameron. I got you.
I want to talk about multiple puppets.
I mean, I don't know who Thunder Rosa. That'll give her something good to do. That's not. That's not
Tony Khan.
That's not involved.
We need a random female to feud with somebody. Where's Thunder Rosa?
No, that doesn't involve someone that doesn't want to like not work with her. You know.
Oh, I get you.
You want to talk about that real quick?
What?
The Thunder Rosa, Megan Bain,
the chair
thing. Yeah.
I told him to hit you with the chair.
Man, I will buy you 3 green teas that day. Thank you, my man.
I mean, there's not much to touch on besides it's
Tony.
I don't know, man. Thunder Rosa needs to
go to the WWE.
That'd be no bueno either, but no, you want to believe that. Speaking of people that I can kind of see, it kind of setting up for a WWE bound. I mean, are we going to pretend like that MJF tattoo removal isn't a tiny bit? That leaves that door open now of like, I mean, nobody's really saying or thinking that, but I'm going to throw that out there of like, yeah, that leaves that open.
Who gave him the okay to film that?
I would assume Tony. I mean, but also,
So it's all good then, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe he had that plan since he got the tattoo in the first place.
No, I could see it, and I mean, it definitely goes well with the storyline, and it makes sense. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of, it's a bold move, very, very bold move to especially do out and videotape and stuff like that. And like I said, it fits where how personal the Hangman feud's getting. I mean, with him jumping Christopher Daniels and busting him wide open.
MJF is definitely someone that I could see getting a tattoo for a storyline to get it removed later for another storyline. Like, he's not going to get like some big tattoo on his arm, but
Right.
like he'll get a tattoo and show it off just so he can show it off being removed 3 years.
I get what you're saying with that.
Like he would do that.
Yeah. Either way, I mean that match is going to be really, really good with how much they're leading in and how much they're building up to it. As far as like, I mean, this new Hangman kind of persona, Stone Cold Stan Hansen, Hangman Adam Page over there. Just he comes in his truck, he kicks some ass and takes some names and looks like the grumpy cat as he does it, and then he goes away.
They're gonna go for match of the year.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very hard hitting, and I mean the whole night's going to be a good night of matches, whether it was built well or not. Everywhere, it's still been good.
Speaking of getting it's a night about the Young Bucks.
Oh, they'll be back. They'll be back soon. Don't you worry. Don't you worry your little head.
I'm sad now.
Our EVPs.
I was just starting to enjoy AEW. Why do they have to come back?
Because they're not the issue.
Are they gonna bring that Jungle Man with them?
Yeah, that scapegoat. He's the best.
Can we at least see Anna Jay?
I mean, if you got to take the rest of them.
Never mind.
Keep them over in Japan.
No, it'll be interesting to back up. I'm gonna like. Are they gonna step to the Death Riders?
Somebody's got to at some point. I mean,
yeah. Or are they gonna align with the Death Riders?
Listen, I know that it's probably going to be them stepping to the Death Riders because that's kind of how the storyline goes, and they're the baby face quote unquote of AEW, heroes of AEW. But tell me that Syndicate wouldn't be so much better.
Sir, the baby faces of AEW are the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah,
but like that would be so much better. Like it would.
Imagine those three coming down and just mowing down 8 of the Death Riders with.
It's not even the physical. It's I want to hear the verbal back and forth between Mox and MVP, with MVP's new kind of way he's talking, and Mox is kind of insanity, and MVP basically calling him out on all of this, like, yo, y'all whack. Like, basically, in so many words.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're just waiting for Cedric, and then it'll be more even.
I genuinely, and I can say this, I mean, and I'm sure you can pick up on this, I think the Hurt Syndicate is way more over than Tony thought they were going to be. Like, I think that he thought he was going to bring them in and they were going to do good. I don't think that it was going to be like this. I don't think anybody could have necessarily predicted this kind of reaction from everybody. I mean,
they've become the most popular act in the company. Like, when they're together and they're doing their thing, there's nothing that audience loves more at that moment than watching them do that.
Like, and it was surely, and I mean, like I said, everybody gets on Tony and stuff like that, but the way that it was built and brought in, that's why. The way he brought in Shelton and built him up to be like, yo, y'all remember Shelton from 2006? Remember how great he was? He's even better now. He went to Japan and he can wrestle even better now. Let's give you some matches. Oh, you want to give him a mouthpiece? Oh, we got Montel Vontavious Porter. Remember, he used to talk real well back in 2006 too. He can still talk as well. And then you want the big heavy?
And then MVP's like, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lashley. Mm-hmm.
And built it up to where everybody was expecting Bobby Lashley, but like made it so that he, and I think, and it comes from me, and we talked about it, in the locker room, and I'm sure other people feel this way. It is so refreshing to have Bobby come in and not be the super biggest part of the group. Yes, he is the big man. He can be the heavy, but like Shelton's a factor too. MVP is a factor too. It's not. It felt like in WWE, anytime Bobby touched a group, it was like that's Bobby's group. That is everything's meshed around Bobby, and that's just he's good, but that's not. TNA did it too with the Beatdown Clan. Bobby's not doesn't need to be the 1,000% centerpiece.
I love Bobby Lashley's AEW gimmick. His whole thing is, I'm the nice one. And like he literally is. Like when you listen to like their promos and their interviews, like Shelton will break you down, MVP will insult you. Bobby's like, hey man, your shoes look nice. And he just smiles at you. But you're still scared of Bobby
he can just screw you.
And it's like, but I'm the nice one. Like, yeah, no. And then like they'll both just like shoo you off and walk away, and then Bobby will start to walk away, and he'll shake your hand, and then he'll leave. But also, I'm the most scared of Bobby. I can't give Tony Khan the credit for that because MVP and Bobby have been working together since they were in TNA. And then once they got Shelton,
1,000%. I think the plan was set all along, but it was the way the capitalization of the plan and how it was used. And
this is their formula, but he's giving them the proper time and room to make it work.
Mm-hmm. And I also think that it's the proper formula, and Bobby and MVP had this all along kind of planned out. But like I said, with the start of it, I really do think that push of Shelton early on was a huge factor of why they are over right now. I don't think they get to the point they are right now and having the chance that they do right now if you don't have Shelton do those 20-minute classics week in and week out against some of the favorite people out there.
Yo, man, 85% of their audience grew up watching Shelton Benjamin, and 98% of their locker fan in that building that's not paying attention to a Shelton Benjamin match. Like, maximum, like, a promo, 4 out of 10. Athleticism, 9 out of 10. Respect, 11 out of 10. Like, everybody loves Shelton.
So I think that's going to be looked back on, and we'll see where it goes, and we'll see how much they push it, and we'll see kind of where they go with it. I mean, I know that with them going against the Murder Hawk monsters, the Chris Benoit, and
I didn't say it.
And the other guy who
I wasn't gonna say it.
But, you called him Mongo. Mongo was
But Brian Cage looks a lot like Chris Benoit.
What's up, Yoshi? How are you today? Appreciate the check-in. I think they're safe though. But another match that we're gonna kind of close things out on with the this episode, as far as and we'll move it on to the next episodes and such like that, so we don't keep people too long. Is that the announcement? And it was a very, very smart way to do it. Once again, tipping the hat to Tony Khan a little bit of having Swerve and Nana bait Ricochet in, bait the heel in with the title shot on the line, because Ricochet doing what a heel would do and being like, why would I fight you again? I beat you. No, I don't want to do that. I'm good. Aha! I'm like, I'm all right. And then they say, oh, but Tony Khan said we could get a title shot in here, whoever wins. And that turning the cap around was great, but looking as nerdy as he possibly can, like with the glasses on, the robe, the jacket, just everything's just as much of a nerd as you could look.
The switch up was crazy.
Like, it's the personality that's come out of Ricochet during this time is another thing that just needs to be studied, needs to be like
appreciated.
And I don't know how much. And I do love the fact that Ricochet is 1,000% turning it back on the internet community because of how bad they got on him when he went to AEW and they splashed down and he didn't have a gimmick and personality and he was just doing the Ricochet gimmick.
It was before he went to AEW. They were starting to get on him when he was in WWE, but he had the handcuffs on and he couldn't express himself. And then as soon as he got free, he started clapping back at people. And they were like, "Oh, Ricochet, you're supposed to be a nice guy." He was like, you bald. Shut up.
Yeah, and the fact that now people are like feeling the gimmick and like being like, "Yo, man, Ricochet is cool. I like Ricochet now." And him doing the you thing that's just like, no, you don't get to do that. You weren't here before. No. You back up. You can't hop on the train.
Had left the station. You missed the ride to school. You better start walking if you want to make the math class at 11:30 this morning because you missed your ride, Playboy.
Trevor ain't here no more. Trevor went that way. All right.
The only thing here is I'll flex on you. Ooh. Let me get this Macho Man finger going.
I think that it's definitely it's going to be a great match. I'm very excited for it. I like the stake, but I don't like the fact that I just don't foresee either of them beating Mox right now or really like it's AEW's in a point right now, and we'll get to it on the Revolution breakdown of they could go a lot of different ways based on kind of the fan base right now. Because we also have that caveat of Christian is still waiting in the wings, which once again, not going to bring up and looking at dates and stuff like that. When did man? I feel like he's had that. Are we at a year now? Like we're getting up there. It has to have been a year. I don't even remember when he got that. I think it was like Revolution. Was it Revolution?
Your father.
It was some sort of ladder match. I'm about to look it up after this to see when man's got that. But it's been a long time. It feels like that he's had that briefcase.
Is there a time limit on it?
I don't know if there is or not. I would assume it's like Money in the Bank and there is a year, but like they don't state it, which either way, they need a way out with that at some point in time. Someone needs to get got by that. So that's the only way I could see maybe Cope winning. Now you have him as an AEW champion. Don't necessarily need to take it long. I've already predicted before having Christian do the New Year's Revolution, just like Edge did to Cena. Yeah, battered and bloodied, cash in on his buddy. And then you can have the Christian Edge feud and, have that. And then I guess have one of them drop to either Ricochet or Swerve, but then you're putting them in the back burner for a little bit. So, like, it seems more likely than not that they're not doing that. It seems more than likely that Mox is going to win, go on and have a match with Swerve or Ricochet, probably win that, and then we're waiting for Darby to come down the mountain.
It would have to be Ricochet versus Cope or Christian versus Swerve.
Just to make sense of it, yeah. And I could see heel Ricochet where he's at right now, pulling something off with Cope. Maybe, because it's all going to depend, and this is where it's kind of weird. I don't think they put any stipulation on the Mox and Cope match yet, but you would think with all the ambulances and everything going on, and that's also to keep in mind of like they need that kind of idea, a battered and bloodied Cope for Christian to cash in on and be that slimy, detestable heel that he needs to be.
He could cash in on Mox, and the way the match ends, Cope would just have to sit there and watch as he does it. Like maybe he's handcuffed to the bottom rope.
Yeah.
And he watches his moment fade away as Christian comes and takes it away from him. So like Cope doesn't have to win for Christian to do it.
Right.
But either way, they do need to strike with that sometime soon.
And we'll go out on this one, like I said, because we're hitting around the 30-minute mark on this episode. But this is where I'm going to leave, and I'm going to leave everybody with, as people like to do, the baby face, the good moment for the fans, hopefully, before we do our outros and stuff like that. Because I know that this would never happen, but I want to just put everybody into fantasy land for a little bit. All right, so in your scenario, Mox beats Cope. Cope's laid out. Mox comes out, or no, Mox is getting up and everything. Then Christian's music hits. He slides in and he's like giving the contract over.
On your own.
Mox like gives him a look, but then Christian and Cope look at each other and do almost the New Day and Usos thing of like, bro, we're brothers forever. Let's get this motherfucker. I'll give you your moment. Let's do this. And they both turn up and just go and they hug it out and they have the moment again. And it was all either a plan or they're just brothers that like it doesn't matter. They fight, they get back. It doesn't it would be one of those moments in wrestling of like, oh my goodness, my heart. Edge and Christian are working together to kill the Death Riders. Finally.
Yeah. No, you know what? You sold me. Like, where's my wallet?
Like it makes absolutely no sense for Christian's storyline or anything, but it's that idea of wrestling brotherhood just kills everything.
I would love for it to take Edge and Christian to come back together to be the force that takes out Moxley and the Death Riders. Like that's what it took something that no one saw happening for. It's like the same thing when Vince was picking on Triple H and picking on Shawn, and he did it too much simultaneously,
and
he caused DX to fuse back together.
Mm-hmm. And then hit a 5-second pose on Mox as Christian has the belt over top of him.
Well, after that, they just have to shake hands and realize that they have to fight for the belt now.
Yes.
It only lasts a temporary thing, but it fixes everything in between.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in, at least for this last little nonsense this last little ploy and the entire episode, obviously. Appreciate everybody that's coming to the live, and obviously, if you're tuning into the live, we are going to be keeping going with the next couple episodes. We do have the Elimination Chamber predictions to do, as well as we are going to try to get through some old school stuff, depending on our energy levels and all that good stuff. But with that being said, we are going to cut this episode of Breaking the Wrestling Barriers. I am SOS Rampages over here on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, on all that good stuff. That is us. I'll let you do your thing. You're a big boy.
I am SOS Farm, and on Twitch I am Farm20. On YouTube I am Farm27. I don't know where I am. Can Naya get off of Trish?
But we appreciate y'all, and we're gonna cut that episode right there. And peace out.